First of all, I just introduce myself just a little bit. The background probably quite interesting. I practiced as an architect for 17 years. And 3 years ago, I jumped the ship. I moved to the other side of the table to become a developer. So today, I actually like to share with you is a lot of things that as an architect always curious about is how developers really make decisions, how developers select architects, and how the project being planned and built. Always as a myth for me, although I practiced for 17 years. So today, I will actually do a case study on one of the projects and show you the whole design process from the beginning to right now the construction. SOHO China is probably the most publicized developers in China and engineered by the two founders, Mr. Pan and Ms. Zhang. You're probably all familiar with them. And the key thing about the SOHO China is to pursue the innovation, particularly in design. And the reason is because of them, two of them. They really want to be innovative for any kind of project that we are undertaking. These are the projects that we developed in the past decade, mainly in Beijing. And since I joined SOHO in 2009, in the just short 3 years, these are some of the architects we either collaborate with or we invite them to participate in competition. I think you recognize most of these faces. They are some of the most innovative architects, designers in the world. So how we work with them as a developer. They are free-minded people, very free. They can go anywhere you can think about it. And for us, as a commercial developer, we still have to make the building buildable, marketable, sellable, leasable. So the whole case study focused on the lady in the middle, Zaha Hadid. These are the 3 projects that she did for us in the past 4 years. Total area over 1 million square meter. And you all know who Zaha Hadid is. And today, just introduce you the design process working with her. The first one is Galaxy SOHO. Second one is Wangjing SOHO. And the last one is Sky SOHO in Shanghai. First 2 in Beijing. Actually, I'd like to share with you the first one, but because this conference is about tall buildings, I only can pick the middle one because it's tall, so I can share with you. Before introducing the Wangjing SOHO, there's something about Zaha working with us. Actually, it's a progression. When we work with architects, it's not just one at a time come up with a new concept. Actually, the concept is built upon the previous one, we so-called the lesson learned. For architects, there's a lesson learned. For developers, we also have a lesson learned. Then we collaborate. We know the strengths and the weakness, and we try to make the best out of the project. This is the first one, Galaxy SOHO. If this weekend some of you travel to Beijing, if you want to go to visit, let me know. I can help you get into the site. It's almost done. Next month, there will be a grand opening. The key about this project is this is the first commercial project Zaha Hadid did. Everything she did before was either museum or cultural center or high-end luxury residence. How to make her design into a commercially viable project is a challenge for her and for us, all of us, because never done before. It is very difficult. One of the examples here, just because I'm not talking about this project today, but this example actually carries through the whole next 2 projects. Is if you look carefully about these white horizontal bands, they're aluminum panels. And they're rain screen open joint, if we call. Rain screen, we always like to do open joint. Zaha insists on no open joint. Everything has to be continuous to create this continuous curvature. So if you look carefully, you can hardly see a joint. This is the first time we did it in China. So this is something about how challenging we do to make things happen in China. There's a lot of things is groundbreaking technology in the curtain wall design. This is an interior retail shopping center atrium. Now I move on to the Wangjing SOHO, the project that I like to share with you. This project, probably after I listened this morning, this is probably the shortest high-rise all of us present in this conference. It's only 200 meters tall. Compared to all the other ones, this is really short, but it's big. Total area actually above grade is 390,000 square meters, so 3.9 million square feet. Total area is 500,000 above grade and below grade. I share with you actually at the beginning how we started. After we, through the bidding process, got the land, the red star is the site. And right now I'm not using the laser point, just point to you. You actually can see the Beijing airport on the top right corner. Forbidden City, right here. So Wangjing actually is an area in Beijing, almost like a Pudong. It's a new built area. It's like a suburban city, mainly for living. Now, right now, working actually will be mixed with living. So the site we have, fortunately, actually is the center of Wangjing suburban area. You can see the yellow area. This is the site. And in front of it, towards the south side, actually is a public urban park. This is a 3 years ago picture. And we want to build something unique for the site. Because Wangjing area, actually, if you've been there, there's really no context, if you can call context, because there's just a lot of squarish residential towers. So in this particular area, we want to create an icon. We are very clear in the beginning. We need an icon to basically take the whole area and focus in the middle. So we did a competition. In many ways, we try to create a competition for every project we undertake. Because through the competition, we really see it can bring the best out of every architect. Because people want to win. So the next few slides I want to share with you actually is the design process. These architects, how they treat this issue and how to make it happen. So the first one is Sajima. And the competition is very unique for us as a developer. I'm only speaking on behalf of SOHO China. We have a 2-month competition. In the middle, there's a standard interim midterm presentation as most of the competition does. But we open the whole process. Architects can talk to us every day, can present everything to us every day. We do not want to make a competition secret. Wait for in 2 months and architects bring the product onto the table. As developers, we have to stand there, pick. And if we don't like, we still have to pick. So there's a danger for us. So we want to open up the whole competition process. So architects also can understand what do we want every day. We give feedback to the designers every day. So Sajima's concept is very revolution. She actually, as I said, the building height is 200 meters. She did a 200-meter curved building. You can see the two concepts, left and right. Then we also invited Fuxas from Italy. These are the two concepts she presented in midterm presentation. Zaha Hadid, they present a midterm presentation. Finally is Make. Make is from London. Founder is Ken Shuttleworth. Originally is a partner of Norman Foster. So we invited 4 of them, and they present the midterm presentation. At that moment, actually, we were scared. We have no idea what we are getting. They are so outrageously creative, but not really meet our criteria. And our criteria are actually only 3 things for the competition. First is iconic. Second one is practical. It has to be functional. Third, cost effective. These are only 3 things we care. And we try to make a competition as simple as possible, only 3 requirements. All the other ones are just program requirement. But we are not sure. So we did all the internal review. We had all the engineer cost estimate, try to figure out whether which one works, which one doesn't work. Then we had a lengthy meeting with them, going through all the options with them and help them to figure which one's the best for us. Competition always very dramatic. After the midterm presentation, only 1 month left. As you all know, after you have to build a model, do rendering, the last week cut off. Eventually, you actually only have 2.5 weeks to develop. For whatever reason, architects are always heroic. In the 2.5 weeks, they can come up with something surprise you. You always think they are out. There's no way to finish it. They all finish. And the product always surprising. This is Sajima's final presentation. Actually combined midterm scheme, 2 into 1. Actually, it's one singular, 250 meter long, 200 meter tall, glass high-rise office building, 15 meter deep. Very unique, very conceptual. Fuchstas came up with actually inspired by Yellow Mountain, the form of the office tower. SOHO came up with 2, we nicknamed shack frames, 2 shack frames for the concept, very dramatic. Maker, in a similar way, I also tried to group the building together, but in a singular form. So now for us, developers, we reach to a critical stage to decide which one we want. This is something I want to share with you, how we make the decision. Oftentimes people think a boss makes a call, everyone happy, go home. Not really. We actually, for the whole presentation, we had the entire company, each department heads participate in the presentation, listen to architects' presentation. All these people represent different background. They have cost estimate, purchasing, sales, marketing, every department. And they all have a say in the end after the presentation is over. And we also invited some famous jurors. One actually just presented next door. Ole Sharon on the lower right corner. And we also present another engineer from TT, presented over here in the morning, Mr. Zhu from TT. So we invited all kinds of people from different backgrounds, try to get different opinions. And as a final decision maker, we can get all the opinions. Final concept, actually, final conclusion came down to Sajima and SOHO. We cannot make our mind, actually. And in this process, structural engineer played a vital role in this. Actually, one of the person in the meeting also participated from Europe. We actually consulted with a number of engineers, trying to figure out these concepts viable or not. So that's one thing. And we went even through the government to try to find out whether the review process will work or not. It's very, very important for developer. We need to make a building built, not to make a building look nice. So every decision we made before that, we have to think about everything. And the cost estimate, we brought in our QS firm to do all the cost estimate, not necessarily to come up with a precise number, but we know exactly which one is the most expensive and which one is the least expensive. So through this process, we understand which concept will work the best for us in terms of the cost, in terms of the schedule, and also the form and the function. So in the end, we picked Zaha Hadid's scheme, the 2 shack frames. Very, very big, very, very long, the top left corner. There's one dilemma with this concept. If you look at these plans on the left, south is facing down, north is facing up. You can see the original scheme actually has a back towards you. In China, it's bad feng shui. So this scheme didn't go very well with the government. So we went in with another meeting, bringing Zaha Hadid's architects to meet with the government official. Magically, we drew the scheme, the lower left corner scheme on a napkin. We make 3 fish instead of 2 fish. This changes the entire concept in terms of orientation. So now the building actually has a south facing, and also it is the tallest building. This is the 3 fish the designer hand drew. So this is the final concept, or we say we picked the final concept. And the project, the uniqueness of this project is the buildable area actually only in the middle, as you can see the 3 fish. The surrounding area, we actually have 50,000 square meter public space. So this project is very unique because we have a project sitting in the park. So landscaping, open space, how people experience the entire project is critical for this project. So we try to bring all the people into this project in the middle. This is nighttime view. And you actually can see we actually even planned ballparks, a basketball, soccer field, lower right corner. Try to activate the entire urban space. So this is final renderings. This actually is the north-facing area. How am I doing my time? Okay. We also think about the time, the 4 seasons of the project. Beijing is very cold in winter, so we need to think about what landscaping look like in winter, not just in summer beautiful renderings. We need to see when no trees there, how the space is being utilized. So we plan a water feature, the pond in the middle. In the winter, it will be the skating rink. So all these things is to think about the seasonal change and how the urban space is being utilized. Although people may think we want the iconic feature, we always look to the top. For this particular project, we focus a lot of area on the ground. We try to make the ground viable, attractive. This is another view. In order to make this landscaping, let me see, open space attractive, we hosted another international design competition. We invited Martha Schwartz from London, West 8 from Amsterdam, 4 firms, internationally known, big star, to come up with landscaping ideas for this project. And we incorporate this idea right now into the final product. This is a photo montage from the east side. This is from the south side. You can see this is in winter picture, and the public park is to the south. The building looks very big. And initially, we all have the concern is inside, how the heck I walk that far? Because the longest one is 200 meters long. The top right one, tower number 1, is 200 meters long. So we know it's a problem, and we have to make it work. And the solution actually is quite simple. Inside, actually, we divide the building into 3. Although outside you look at 1 building, inside actually 3 buildings, they have their individual elevator core take you into your office space. Inside, your walking distance is quite regular. And responding to the lobby, another issue is if it's a lobby 200 meters long, we joked that we walked into airport terminal. We are now walking to office lobby. It's impossible to walk that long. In the end, actually, we make the lobby 3-dimensional. It's not on the first level alone. We actually create a 2nd level lobby. You go inside, actually, you take escalator to 2nd level, then you reach the elevator lobby, go up. So the space actually has been reduced to create a more comfortable scale. To give people a reference about how big this project is, Wangjing SOHO, I pull out the Shanghai Center. My number may not be correct, but I got it from internet. Shanghai Center above grade area is 380,000 square meter. Our project is 390,000 square meter. So now you have a sense how big this project is. Shanghai Center is almost 600 meters tall. We are 200 meters tall. Actually, the 2 low building only 100 meters tall. So we do not have a height, but we have the volume. So we take a different approach to create an icon. Icon can go high. Icon also can go low. It all depends on how you think about what icon is. Another thing I want to talk about cost effectiveness is we always want the best, most innovative technology in our buildings. But as a developer, not necessary. We do have budget concern. We have limited amount. No matter it's AHA, Herzog de Meuron, whoever it is, we have a fixed budget. It's not like Zaha comes in, we increase our budget. No way. So the whole business is a business. So in order to make this project work, we actually make the 3 towers into 2 different structures. The tallest one, reaching 200 meters, is a steel structure. The 2 low-rise building, 100-meter one, we actually use concrete. So this is all based on the cost balance, whether we can achieve the final outcome. So in the end, this project so far, we maintain the constraint cost at the market level, not high, not any higher than you think. This is a nighttime view. This is the one I talk about how we activate the urban open space. This is the park area, and you can see we slope down the ground level into B1, basement 1. By sloping this ground, actually we create an amphitheater. We want to make this space as summertime is an amphitheater for the entire Wangjing area. This is a plaza inside looking out. This is how people go down to B1. There's a special stair take people down to the retail. By the way, the project function is very simple. It's a basement level, 1st floor, 2nd floor retail. Everything above is office. So retail total area is 50,000 square meters. The rest is all office. This is a basement retail. Building is very big. How the building relates to the street actually is a challenge for us. So we on the north side intentionally inserted 2 little pavilions there. This pavilion, one serves as a parking entry. You may not be able to see, but actually car drives into the building. And second is actually this creates another layer. So people not just go direct to the high-rise building. Actually, there's a low-rise building. And between the low-rise and the high-rise, we actually create a shopping street. So although the site is very large, it's almost, you cannot comprehend if you go there. It's the biggest construction site right now in Beijing. But when you get to in between the buildings, the scale actually comes down to you feel comfortable. This is the entry to the office lobby. This is the office lobby inside. Here you can see, I mentioned before, the double-level lobby. The escalator actually takes you to another elevator lobby to other side of the office. This is another lobby. Standard office, upper floor office corridor. As a developer, we think things, it's an entire process, not just design. We have to make sure the building being built right and the quality being reflected as good as the design. So we have to implement many, many technologies. This morning, Shanghai Center already talked about the beam. This is another beam in China. Probably the 3rd project right now doing the comprehensive beam. Galaxy SOHO, the first one, the first beam project we decided to do. This is the second one. And the beam company is Crystal, and the local architect is CTBUH from Beijing. This is a curtain wall beam. The whole thing about Zaha Hadid's project is it's difficult to build first impression because it's all curved. The curve creates all kinds of complexity. How we deal with it, we actually use beam, really use beam to solve the problem, is to optimize the system, to rationalize the system. Although you see all the curves, but we try to make all the curve repetitive. So this rendering you can see, the more curved it is, the more different size of panel they have. So we try to reduce the colors in a simple way, and we achieve that. This is a basement MEP beam. So all the system is being drawn in the model. Sustainability is something I do not want to talk too much because every competition we submit, every firm comes in with this thick of sustainability sections. Right now, every firm does this. So this has almost become the industry standard. So as a developer, we really don't need to worry about it. We know we can achieve the goal. So right now, we actually achieved the LEED pre-certificate, a silver pre-certificate. And we are right now still trying to get gold. For this project, just one thing I want to share with you about the sustainability is every firm comes in oftentimes. I think the key right now, because I'm on the other side of the table, I want to share with you that you really need to understand where you work and who you work for and who is going to use. Because, for example, a lot of firms comes to our Beijing office, present project to us, want us to have a lot of fresh air in Beijing. Right now, you all know how polluted Beijing is. Fresh air is not people want. When the sky is like is cloudy, it's totally black. Who wants fresh air? So there's something about what do you aim for and what do you want to achieve? For this project, actually, we want to create fresh air. And in Beijing right now, everyone knows the PM 2.5 particles. This is famous probably worldwide. And our project right now, unique about it is we increase the standards to cut out all the PM 2.5. Right now, 90% being cut. Way high, much higher than the industry standard. This is one thing what developer wants, not necessarily the engineers want, because they may not know. But through the whole working process, we achieve that. And our MEP consultant is Arab. Being developer, another thing, I have no idea where the up mark, up, oh, the PPT wrong, sorry. We want fancy renderings, exciting renderings as a developer, but we also need to secure the final product. we want the final product as good as the renderings. In order to do so, there's a long process for us to go through. And for this Wangjing SOHO, almost the same process applies right now to all the SOHO projects. Is we do visual markups first. We spend a lot of money doing visual markups, just try to create the effect we want to achieve. Then we, through the bidding process, bring in the best and the most cost-effective contract to make it happen. This whole process is very complex, and I'm not getting into details, but this is just one of the curtain wall markup we did. Not only markup, we also do real building, and usually it's a showroom. And we want to make the showroom actually is a markup building for the project. This one is already built, and it sits in Wangjing. If you go to Beijing, you can go there. It's open to the public. You can see. And through this whole process, we tested the curtain wall. As I said, the curtain was so complex, we actually built it. We also found a lot of problems, of course. We also test the interiors. If you can see, the interiors use a lot of GRG, which right now is very popular in the market. And we probably use the most amount of GRG in China. GRG is all kind of curved drywall, if we call it simple term. And the wall actually is curved, it's travertine. So the same detail, same material will be used in our future lobby. And by the way, a lot of the first time in our project, this terrazzo floor, no joints at all. This is the largest area we built in China. This is the first one. It's only over 1,000 square meters. But in China, this is the largest one. And right now, we are implementing 10,000 square meters. This is another view of the showroom. And then finally, the building right now is being built. And the 2 towers will be completed by the end of next year. And the tallest one, the 200-meter tower, will be done at the end of 2014. So next year when you come, you will see the building being built. Finally, just 2 more slides. 1 second, perfect. We are in Shanghai, so I show you the last project, the third project that I did, also won through a competition. It's a Sky SOHO, and it's next to the airport runway. This is what you see when you take off and land at the airport. You actually will see the construction site. This project will be completed next year. Thank you.